Perfectionism is paralyzing. We hold ourselves back in so many ways, preventing ourselves from stepping into our potential because we're scared that we're gonna be too imperfect. Perfection is an illusion. It is absolutely impossible to do things perfectly. And the more that we try to reach the state of perfection, the less progress we make and the less we're able to pursue our passions and live life fully. Really, they say practice makes perfect, but when you're too afraid of being imperfect, then you're hesitant to try new things, you're hesitant to really go for what you want, and you're hesitant to commit and make time for doing the things that you want to do. I know that there are so many things that I've wanted to do that I haven't because I was too scared that it wouldn't be good enough. There are so many things that honestly I did worse at because I was scared of it being imperfect. It's exhausting trying to be perfect. It's exhausting trying to do things so right that you don't even end up doing them. You don't want to do them because it just becomes this big, scary thing that you have to master. And it's not. Life is all about the evolution of things, you know? It's about building something up and just practicing and falling and failing and being awkward and making mistakes and just letting yourself be, giving yourself that freedom to mess up, to fail, and to grow and learn. Ultimately, when you focus so much on perfection, you end up avoiding doing what you want and you end up really just performing more poorly than if you would just go for it, do it, and just make it happen consistently. It's really consistency over perfection. Really, when it comes to making progress and learning new things, getting into new hobbies, you know, doing what you want to do, it really is quantity over quality, and the quality will grow with the practice, with the time. But a little while ago I was reading Atomic Habits, and I don't remember most of it, but I remember when it was talking about perfectionism, it was talking about a study that was done on 2 classes, and one class they had graded on the quantity of photos they took for photography. The other class, they graded on having the best photo. And at the end of the day, you'd think that the people who just focus on getting that one perfect photo would get the better grade, would get the better pictures. But the people who just took a shit ton of pictures, people who just took a lot of pictures actually had the most beautiful results because they weren't worried about trying to get it just right. They were just focused on doing it. They were just making it happen. You can't, focus on having this perfect image, this perfect product if you're not producing. So it's production over perfection. I think a lot of us have a distorted perception on perfection, and I think a lot of us compare ourselves to these influencers that we see on social media, but really, they're comparing themselves to other people, and what we see is such a tiny little fraction of who they are and what they do, and the work that they put in and all that they've recorded. We don't see all the drafts they have. We don't see all the cuts they make in their videos. We don't see all that. We're just looking at the couple minutes that they choose to show us, of their best self, their best, lighting, their best angle, and their best moments. We have this whole picture of ourselves as a human, and we only know other people to the small extent that we know them. So everybody is comparing themselves to the other person, and nobody truly feels like they're perfect or they know exactly what they're doing. So it's just unfair to anybody to be comparing yourself and trying to match somebody else's level of perfection when they don't even have that for themselves. You gotta just stop comparing and start living your life and just start doing. Who cares if you're not as good as them? Who cares if you mess up and you look stupid and you don't know what the fuck you're doing? At least you're doing. At least you're not just holding yourself back, living in the shadows because you're too afraid that the light is going to hit you at the wrong angle. You got to get yourself out there. You got to do it and just go for it and just free yourself from that grip of perfection, because truly that bitch will suffocate you if you don't just let yourself breathe and let yourself be in all you are with all you have and all you don't have. Everything I'm not makes me everything I am, which is perfect in the sense that I'm all I'm meant to be right now. I believe that everything happening is happening according to divine plan, according to God's plan, the universal plan, and everything is unfolding just as it is truly meant to. So in that way, we are exactly how we're meant to be, exactly where we're meant to be, and exactly who we're meant to be. So we just gotta work with it. We just gotta embrace it and just take it for all it is, take us for all we are, and just keep doing us, keep growing, and keep exploring, and just stop being afraid. Just get out of this fear of not being enough, of not being perfect. And the only way that we overcome fear really is through it's through changing our mindset and the way we think about it, but it's also through exposure and just exposing ourselves to the things that make us scared, because so often we are afraid of what we don't know. We're afraid of what's unfamiliar, and we're afraid to do what we don't know we're good at and what we don't know is safe for us. So the more that we don't do what we want to, the more that we run from doing what we're afraid of and living in the way that scares us, then the more scary it becomes, and the bigger that hump kind of grows. So we just gotta get over that and really just run towards fear. If it don't scare you, it don't grow you. You just gotta run towards that and really just keep making yourself uncomfortable and keep putting yourself in positions that are gonna make you grow. Put yourself in position to stumble. Like, you can't stumble if you're laying in bed all day, right? You can't, trip up. You're safe and you're not gonna mess up laying in bed in the dark in your room. No, but you're not gonna fucking live. You're not gonna live your life and you're not gonna be satisfied. Put yourself in positions to fail, because we only truly grow through, stumbling. The only way we can really get up and grow stronger is by learning how to roll with the tumbles. So get out of your head, get out of your bed, and get up and live your life. Stop holding yourself back because you are afraid that you're not gonna be good enough and that you're not gonna do it right, because you can't do it right if you don't go and make it happen, if you don't do it wrong. You gotta see what not to do sometimes before you know what to really do. Like, we learn through trial and error and error and error, and through falling, and then through getting up again, and through learning, all right, so I did that last time, okay, that didn't work so good, all right, that was good. And then just learning from there, from picking up the pieces and from just rolling with it and continuously learning. Like, don't be afraid to fall. I just recently started ice skating. I realized it's something I like, and I do want to start taking lessons. I haven't yet, but just skating around the rink. And one of the most important things in ice skating is learning how to fall and learning how to get up. I'm pretty sure, I never took lessons, but I'm pretty sure that's the first thing that they teach little kids getting on the ice, because that's gonna happen. Like, guaranteed that'll happen when you're learning, and that'll happen in life. but it's about, you know, learning to catch yourself and learning how to get up. And that's just life, you know. And I don't think that falling and stumbling is nothing to really be embarrassed of, but I think it's something to be proud of. Like, yes, I'm new to this. Yes, I'm stumbling, and yes, I'm gonna keep it pushing. And yes, I'm strong enough to get up and keep going, even though I look dumb, maybe even though I'm imperfect, even though I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and just keep rolling with it. Same thing for when, you know, I started going to the gym. Like, I knew I wasn't doing the exercises right. I knew my form was probably fucked up. And, you know, like another version of me would, you know, past version of me would be all self-conscious and all in my head and be like, oh my God, people are probably looking at me like, what is this girl doing? But honestly, no one really cares. Like, people are focused on themselves. And I feel that if I saw somebody who looked like they didn't know what they were doing, who was not, you know, hitting that perfect form, I would be like, damn, look at them. They are going and they're showing up even though they don't know what they're doing, even though they're imperfect, and they're learning and they're willing to grow and to mess up and to learn. And I think that that is such a beautiful thing. The vulnerability of just showing up no matter what, showing up as a beginner, showing up looking awkward. I think that that is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that is so integral to our growth and to the experience of life. And so that is what I am doing. That's what I'm trying to do right now. When I came home from school today, I decided I was gonna record, and I felt this wave of inspiration. So I was looking at my script and I was looking at my notes, and, you know, I took out my tripod. I was trying to set it up. I was trying to get the camera all perfect at the perfect angle. And, you know, I was trying to get all that figured out. And I was like, fuck, it doesn't feel right. And I was thinking about this, you know, perfection thing and perfectionism and this thing that I've been trying to let go of and release for so long. And I'm like, this isn't letting go. So I let go, and I have my camera on selfie mode, front camera, not the back camera, set up on top of my water bottle right here on my desk. My background is not perfect. The lighting is not perfect. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but I'm here now, and I know that I got all the knowledge I need within me, and that I got something to say, and that my presence is more valuable than my perfection. So I gotta dive right in now. We gotta dive in now and show up as we are, with all that we know and all that we don't know, with all that we got planned and all that we don't got planned, and just go with the flow and just show up shamelessly, imperfectly. Life is too short to be waiting in a cocoon, to be waiting in our room for the perfect opportunity and the perfect time. The only perfect time to do anything is right now. You gotta just make it happen and go with it. And yeah, that's just what I had to say for today. So I hope that this resonated with you, and if it did, please let me know in the comments. Hit that like button and consider subscribing. I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you hopefully next time. Bye.